Hello, my friend. Today I'm going to share a few tips for colored pencil drawing. They can apply to mixed media art and even oil painting as well. So tip number one, draw on a hard surface. This is very important for any kind of drawing because when the surface is soft, you cannot make super sharp details, and the shading is also kind of lousy. It's not even and unified as it should be. So always find something to put under your paper or board and draw on it. I draw large, so regular board is kind of small for my drawing, and it creates a hassle sometimes. Also use the Bristol vellum surface. It's the type of the surface that's smooth for colored pencil layering but has a little bit of tooth to it, so it doesn't glide off the page, which is very important. And there are artboards that have the same kind of surface. When you draw on Bristol smooth surface, your shading looks a lot more even, and most of the time you don't even need to blend the surface because the colored pencils blend on their own. So to get the smoothest and well-blended colored pencil drawing, you need to draw on a hard surface using the Bristol vellum paper. Number two, please observe the light. What I mean by that, you need to study the color temperature and how it affects the color on your objects. When the light is warm, your objects seem to be warmer, and so shadows become cooler. And it works in reverse. If the light is cool, your shadows seem to be warm. Even when we look at water, sometimes it's cerulean blue, which is a warm blue, and other times it looks cooler. And that affects your color choices and how you pick colors. Also analyze the light direction and try to observe and communicate it in your drawing. If it's coming from the right, everything on the right side must be much brighter than on the left side, for example. Sometimes I change positions when I draw because I can see different things from a different point of view, and I also have some back pain, problems, and that's why I have to move around and draw from different angles and points of view. But it's a very good practice to rotate your paper often because you trick your brain to see the mistakes. It's the same concept as looking at your art in a mirror to see the mistakes. Study color temperature and value. I mentioned color temperature, and value means lightness or darkness, because this is also the principle of choosing your colored pencils. If the area is light, like the sky, you don't pick deep blue colors, for example. And if the sea is quite dark, you try to pick darker blues, looking at the color temperature as well, because they can be either warm or cool. One big mistake beginner artists make, they ask for a list of colors, basically to paint by numbers. But such list doesn't exist, because every reference has a unique color scheme and color set. And as an artist, you learn to see and analyze the color in every new reference you get. That's why I made the Color Crash course that's dedicated to color theory. I don't claim to know everything, and I'm not saying that my way is the only way, but I believe we learn from different people and acquire skills in progression. I know that many artists give up on their drawing before even finishing it, but it's super rare for me to just give up on a drawing. Even when I trash it in the end, I actually finish it, because it's super important to work through your problems. This is how you make it happen. This is how you learn. And I think the only occasion when you can trash it from the beginning, when you see that the paper surface doesn't agree with the colored pencils. But all the mistakes that you are making, they're all good mistakes, because you learn from them and you do better next time. There are no shortcuts. Everyone is searching for a shortcut of some sort, but it's actually just a ton of work doing it every single day. And finally, when you're done with your drawing, or if your surface becomes too waxy, use a professional fixative, spray it outdoors, and you can draw on top of it again, or just use a final fixative to protect your drawing from UV light and moisture. And colored pencil stops smudging at all. I often use the fixative in between the layers, spraying it in between the layers, because it stops smudging. And when you're done, enjoy it, even if it's not perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so it's very difficult, but it's also very important to recognize that you made progress. You create a stepping stone for a new artwork that becomes better and better and better. And also, if you are interested in colored pencil drawing, I have many videos about paper and pencils and so on YouTube, or you can go to my website and purchase a video course. Share your tips in the comments below. It would be fun to see. Take care. Bye-bye. Check out my art at veronicasart.com.